Good morning. It is Monday, October the 28th, and this is The Drill. Thank you. I'm Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, because I'm the only one who makes the presumption for the status quo. My podcast is about being a true conservative and using true conservatism to beat the left each and every day. My podcast is made possible by Spreaker.com. It can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. My email address is storytimes@hotmail.com. I'm on Twitter at Ronald Hardgrove and on Facebook at The Drill. I'm not a professional. I'm not a lawyer, doctor, or professor. I have an associate's degree, and I'm one of the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. Politically speaking, I'm a registered independent. Everyone in this country is a socialist. We are all socialists to one degree or another because we've all been influenced by left-wing counterculture. I've been busy throwing off socialism and socialistic influences by listening to my conscience, making the presumption for the status quo, and ignoring arbitrary claims. The purpose of my podcast is to explain how socialism has crept into our lives and how to defeat it. Back in a minute. Thank you. I recently became a Rush Limbaugh 24/7 subscriber. And the other day I received my first issue of the Limbaugh Letter, and I'm going to go ahead and read an excerpt from that letter that helps to illustrate how the left got rid of the stupid question and why we should bring it back. So this is entitled, I Am America's Adult. And it reads, when I was a kid and thought something wacko, my dad would sit me down and say, son, are you kidding? That's ridiculous. That can't possibly be. He would explain why, logically, so I would see the light. There's nobody doing that today within the political structure of the left. Everyone's a kid. No one has to grow up. There aren't any adults, particularly in the Democrat Party. There's nobody to tell these people that what they're doing is nonsensical. And what he's getting at here is that we used to be able to, number one, judge each other. When I was growing up, if you said something stupid, people would tell you, that's stupid. If you asked a stupid question, people would say, that's a stupid question. Adults would say it, other kids would say it, and now you are free to argue about it and say it's not a stupid question and present your case as to why it was a smart question. But the point is that the fact that somebody might call you out on it kept people in check from asking stupid questions. The fact that people may judge what it is that you're going to propose also keeps people in check from making stupid suggestions and bringing forth stupid ideas. And that's what he's trying to get to. But again, the left has dominated our culture, and one of the ways they did it was by getting rid of the stupid question. They did that by using kids. They would say, there are no such thing as stupid questions. How can you tell a child that they are asking a stupid question? Simple. It's called teaching the child. You should do it in as gentle a way as possible, of course, but it does need to be done. Children need to know that there are smart questions, appropriate questions, and then there are stupid questions and inappropriate questions. Also, though, what this did was, it wasn't just about children, because the idea became, if you're not going to call children out on asking a stupid question, why should you call out an adult? And so the whole issue of the stupid question has gone by the wayside. Look at a press conference. How many of the questions that come from the news media are stupid questions? Lots of them. But they never get called out. Why? Because culturally it has become a taboo to do so. The true conservative must violate this so-called taboo that wasn't presented in our culture in any type of a democratic way anyhow, and call people out when they're making a stupid statement or asking a stupid question. Also, now, what he's talking about here when he says he's America's adult, and what this whole article actually comes down to is the so-called global warming or climate change situation. He says so, and he goes on to say that he's going to take apart a childish assertion from Mayor Pete, and because Mayor Pete went ahead and said that climate change may be, let's see, where's the quote here? This is the hardest thing we've done, certainly in my lifetime as a country. This is on par with winning World War II, perhaps even more challenging than that. Another quote from this climate change: this is an existential threat to our species, and people aren't freaking out enough about it enough. From Kate Elder, a 19-year-old. And hundreds joined teen-led pledge not to have kids until climate change is addressed. And that's a headline from The Hill in September. So, but as far as taking apart the childish assertion, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to analyze it. He just simply needs to say that your assertion is stupid on its face. Okay, it is not up to conservatives to analyze or to parse or to explain anything. Okay, the left always has the burden of proof because the left is always the one that wants change. So it is all we need to do is say, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced. That's what Rush Limbaugh should be saying in this article. Mayor Pete, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced. And if you want to convince me that I'm going to have to get serious about climate change, you're going to have to do a lot better than pretending that this is a battle on par with World War II. And also, again, mentioned that it is stupid, because it is. On its face, it is a stupid comparison. And so we need to bring back, as conservatives, the stupid question. Somebody asks you a stupid question, you should feel free to tell them, I'm sorry, that's a stupid question, and I'm not going to answer it. Because it's a power move. Remove the stupid question, and then people can pepper you with all kinds of questions that are none of their business, and they're just flat out stupid, and do so to harass you. If you're a conservative, one of the tactics of the left is to harass you until you end up shutting up, until you tell yourself, you know what, it's just not worth it, I'm not going to bother anymore, I'm just going to avoid people in situations, and you may even get to the point where you decide, I'm not even going to bother to go vote. So it's dangerous to let the stupid question go. You can't do it. They ask a stupid question, you've got to tell them it's a stupid question. If they ask why, you tell them you know why. Leave it at that and walk away. Don't wait for a response. Walk away. So bring that back, and we will be back to bringing back conservatism and to scrubbing this country clean of socialist influences. Back in a minute. Thank you. Welcome back. Who is the true conservative? He's the person that understands that conservatism is not just about politics, but culture as well. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He is patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with absolute certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He is consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He is a normal American, and he is better than the socialist. He is a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you are wasting your time. And that brings me to the conclusion of another episode of The Drill. Remember, the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. True conservatives know nothing is inevitable. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.